eccentric museum in Devon.
You found anything?
And Rebecca gets a shock with his creepy purchases. In London, he visits an antique emporium.
Is that expensive for you?
Where the high prices threaten to cause a stink.
Ooh, pardon me again, sorry.
And at an organ factory in Liverpool, it's all a bit of a mystery.
Drew would have understood it more if he'd gone, it's magic. He'd have gone, oh, yeah, fine, yeah.
Drew Pritchard is one of Britain's leading decorative salvage dealers.
Oh, wow.
He searches this country.
This is starting to be our favourite house.
And
There's only one in the world.
How do you value that?
in his hunt for treasure,
And what do you want for it? 12?
he bargains hard.
8.5?
And there's nothing he won't buy.
Look at his little chaps. Look.
With help from his wife Rebecca
Lovely. Okay, so that's a sale.
and a team of renovators, he transforms thousands of items from junk to gems. In Conwy, North Wales, Salvage Supremo Drew Pritchard is making sure business is running at full pelt.
Lovely. Get on the website pronto. Yep.
As stock hits the website, wife Rebecca is managing the sales.
I'll get back to you with a quote for...
Drew and T are hitting the road to visit a very eccentric British attraction. It's near the coastal town of Ilfracombe, which is a marathon journey of over 300 miles.
I love coming down here. Yeah, I do like Cornwall. Are we in Devon or Cornwall? Cornwall. We're in North Devon. Are we? Yeah.
Drew and T are most definitely in North Devon. Ilfracombe is a picturesque coastal town built around a small working harbour, where many visitors now come to see Verity, the sculpture designed by artist and Ilfracombe resident Damien Hirst. And just along the coast is Drew's first buying location, the stunning Watermouth Castle. Bought by his father in 1977, it's now the home.
There's a Victorian folly, and was built in sort of the mid-1800s. Originally a family home, and now it's a theme park stroke a museum with a bit of entertainment for all the family.
Set in spectacular grounds, Jonathan's father originally had the intention of turning it into a hotel, but decided instead to create a unique and quirky kind of museum filled with curios.
Well, he started collecting in the 70s. He went to dealers, Portobello Road and all those sort of places, and filled the place within sort of 18 months. We've got so much stuff now that to make it look a better display, you've got to thin a few things out. And we've got sheds full of things. Whether he's interested, we'll see. But, you know, there's stuff round every corner.
How are you?
All right, T. Pleased to meet you, T.
Okay. What a spectacular view.
Yeah.
Let's go and have a look in the castle then.
Come on then, guys.
Oh. That is not what I expected. Not at all. It's brilliant. It's nuts. I like it.
Bits inside.
It's very British.
Yeah.
On just walking in, my expectations are pretty high now because the collection here is incredibly varied, from automaton to wagons to mannequins to God knows what else. It looks good. I think we could do well here today. Blimey, you've got everything in here, haven't you?
Yep.
What's this?
If you have an Edwardian home, kitchen scene, Rinso. Can you still get Rinso?
Yeah.
Can
In
you?
Wales, yeah. Leading brand.
Same packaging.
Yeah. Not doing any of that. So you're still buying?
We're buying, we're selling, we're dealing, we
Really?
everything. We do everything.
Cool. Yeah. Show us some more then. Okay, cool. A dairy.
Yep. I want to get rid of this possibly at the end of the season and put something different in.
Oh, okay.
So,
All right.
you know, sell the whole collection as one,
Yeah,
or unless,
yeah.
obviously, there's bits that catch your eye, then,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But that's... You like the baker?
Yeah.
Everybody likes the baker.
He has a very basic electrical automaton of a small baker boy, and it's really, really good. I do like him, yeah. Can we get him down? Need to have a better look, just see what's around the back of him. Really want it, big time. Great, great little item. Really saleable, really collectible. Oh, he's light as well, isn't he? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so where do you want to be with him then?
Well, These sort of things can make big money, and I don't know whether it's a collectible one or not.
Nor me. I've not seen one before. Honest, and on heart, I've not seen one before.
Yeah.
Could be worth a couple of £1,000, who knows? But I need to sort of err on the side of caution and go in at under £500. 350?
No, I think I should be a little bit more.
£400. I don't know what it's worth. I should have. There's a profit there, I think, but I'd have to do my homework to find out what it's really, really, really worth. What if it's only worth sort of five and a half, you know, after tax and VAT and messing about and rewiring? I'm not making any money, but I want to own it anyway.
I'd like to leave him for the time being. Is that a problem?
All right, well, look, let's...
Okay.
All right, okay,
Good
let's go and see some other ones.
Away from the public areas, in this rambling castle there are all kinds of nooks and crannies where pieces that are surplus to display are stored.
Don't drop them, these are wax.
Jonathan, as we're looking at them, starts handing me down wax heads. And they're quite good. You know, they really got a great look to them. Great colour and a bit creepy. He's horrible. I'm just drawn to creepy-looking things today. God knows why. Hanging around with tea, I suppose.
This one I actually used a few years ago for Halloween. I went as a headless monk and put the wax head in the basket.
Apparently they're of people we should recognise. A couple of them have got tags. William Cody.
Who's he?
Buffalo Bill.
Was it? Yeah. Hey.
To lifelike representations is an art that can be traced back to the Middle Ages and has been used for making death masks and effigies. This collection of 11 heads is from the early 20th century and was probably created for a public attraction. Each one could be worth around £150.
What do you want for them?
It's hard to say. I suppose it's a bit like anything. It's the artist, isn't it? Are they good? Are they bad? I don't know.
There's a couple of good ones and the rest are...
So we're probably looking at sort of £50 each, and maybe the good, better ones £80 or something, are we? Is that?
I'd go...
You've got to make a living.
It's 11. I sat here and they went 550. So that's slightly more than yes, but that's where I'm at. So if you want to meet at 5, I'll do it.
Chard, antique expert and hunter of the quirky and curious, is at Watermouth Castle in North Devon, an eccentric British attraction.
That is not what I expected.
Owner John has dug 11 wax heads out of the attic, and Drew is chancing his arm at a bit of reverse bargaining.
We're probably looking at sort of £50 each, and maybe the good, better ones £80 or something, are we?
I sat here and they went 550. So that's slightly more than yes, but that's where I'm at. So if you want to meet at 5, I'll do it.
I think we've got a deal.
Yeah. Okay, great. I reckon we can double our money, maybe a little bit more, but they're not of huge value because they don't have glass eyes, they don't have mounts, they're not got any hair on them, they're not coloured up, they're just wax heads. Some amount of pieces in, that's definitely where you want to be. You want to be, you know, where the stuff that isn't being used anymore. So, overspill.
Yeah, this is where it all goes.
Excellent. All right, so have a bit of a look around.
You help yourself.
Nope.
Nothing in there.
You found anything? Anything in there?
Tea. The shed is pretty tidy, well laid out and well lit.
He's like a sniffer dog, isn't he? Eh?
They're better behaved.
There's a few things I can see already that, you know, could potentially be purchases.
He'll indicate in a minute. He'll stick a leg out. His tail will go out.
Tail's not wagging. My spot's on one of the shelves. It's a diffused prismatic lens, that one.
These holophane shades came out of a train carriage and would have been recessed into the roof space. The prismatic lens is designed to spread the light as widely as possible. They're worth around £150 each.
They'd have to just be the right price to sort of persuade us to buy those ones, I think.
I'll tell you what we'll do. Whatever you give me for them, I'll give to charity.
Oh, there you go. That's great.
So
£3 or £4 goes a long way these days.
Let's put the pressure on you, isn't it?
I don't know how many you've got. There's a load in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 there. Give you £150. Way more than they're worth. There's about what? How much is that? About £15 a pop, something like that.
Storage shed. There are other items salvaged from old trains that are of interest to Drew.
Those were the things in the carriages where you sat. It's a little individual like that.
How many of those have you got?
I don't know, I haven't seen them for years. I've probably just looked one of this. Is there any more?
This mahogany and copper wall light illuminates from both above and below. It's unusual and could be worth around £120.
Should be like that, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Always good wall.
Beautiful design, beautifully made. Great colour, perfect size. I wish there were 60 of those. Sell those all day long. What do you want for that? I like that. I wish there was more. Or just a pair would be good.
You offer me, give me that.
30 quid.
Fair deal.
Yep, sold.
Sold and broken.
Sold and broken all in one hit.
Drew is stocking up on unique pieces, and the quirky finds keep coming.
That's the old spend a penny.
There's two of them. They're always incomplete, but this one looks like...
Well, I wouldn't put my life on it. There's bits in there. We got a knife? We got a knife?
Oh, yeah. Cheers. Jonathan actually pulls out two locks. Now, these are from public loos where you had to put a penny. You know the saying, spend a penny? It's because of those. You put the penny in the top, turn the lock, go inside. Happy days.
Britain's first public toilets were introduced in London in the 1850s, but didn't come free. Coin-operated door locks were £30.
What do you want for those?
What are they going to be? 60 quid?
Yep, fine, sold.
The two? The each, we say. We said each, didn't we?
OK, let's go with each. That's fine. I thought I was going to get very different. That's still a great deal for me.
I think it's missing take out his wages.
Pay him.
Yeah, they'd have to give me wages first.
Pay him.
Look, he helped.
He doesn't want
He
pay. Does it for the fun of it, do you?
Well, because the judge said I had to.
Today, great fun. Bought some really odd things. Wax heads, industrial lamps and toilet door closers. Couldn't make it up, could you?
Every antique dealer's got different tastes. Hope he's happy. So, yeah, have an interesting day.
The money piece for the day is the wax heads. I think we can double our money on them with very, very minimal amount of work. And we have to do that every now and again. You know, I need stuff to pay the wages, and those will do that. They're pretty freaky, and that's why I like them. Well done.
Yep. Well then.
Cool.
Well done, guys.
Well, Jonathan, thank you. Pleasure. Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much. See?
Beautiful
Safe
place.
journey, mate.
Thanks, bye.
See you, guys.
Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it?
Very much.
Slightly eccentric. Well, the gardens were lovely. They had a gnome land there.
Did they?
Yeah, no.
Did you struggle to get out?
As soon as I said it. Soon.
With a van full of curious collectibles, Drew and T arrived back at base in Conway.
Wall light. Off a German train.
Is it?
Bolts to the wall like that.
Oh, a downlighter.
Isn't it fantastic?
Yeah.
And it's got a diffused plate at the top there. So you'd get a soft lighter
Yeah.
and a downline. I don't want to sell it.
Wow. Never seen anything like that.
We did get something quite good.
A wax head. Yeah. Fab.
Lots of them.
That's the only one with glass eyes.
Wow. Look like they move.
Right.
Watch when you turn it. That's not funny.
Sorry, I knew you'd fall for that.
This one's got a few cracks in it, so we're just going to heat it up from behind. And the other one, just get rid of the red. Doesn't like the Halloween look.
With a soldering iron, the wax is melted and bonded together. The cracks must be repaired from the inside, as melting turns the wax white and destroys the aged colour.
A little tiny bit of overspill on the front. I'm just going to nip it off. That's that one done.
The only way to remove the red paint is to scrape it off.
You can't really use chemicals on this. Anything can potentially damage the wax. Trying to do as little damage as possible to it.
With a fine razor blade, the last bits are removed and it's finished off. Drew and T are making a 5.5-hour journey down the country to London. Home to over 8 million people and more than 20,000 bars and restaurants. Drew's team would normally be delivering to interior designers and wealthy clients in the capital. It's very rare for Drew to be buying in this pricey city.
When you buy off the trade in London, you are paying a London premium. Well, you have to, because their rates are higher than, say, here in the depths of North Wales. And that's why Drew tends to buy more from the provinces rather than actually the city.
But today, he's making an exception.
So who is...
Malcolm Glixton is the owner of Relic Antiques in London's King's Cross. He's one of the UK's foremost dealers in decorative antiques and folk art. He's been sourcing collectibles for his high-end clients for over 40 years.
Well, gradually, when you start buying and selling things, I think you actually find the things that interest you. And mainly nowadays, buy my stuff in France at the fairs and markets and bring them back and sell them in London.
These good dealers, they only have good stuff.
Yes, we're top end today, are we?
It can be, yeah. It's
Prices
not,
as well, as
Yeah,
we're in
it's not
London?
cheap, but remember, we're looking for that slightly odd thing that somebody else isn't looking for.
And slightly odd and unique pieces are exactly what Malcolm sells.
You see, you made it to my shop eventually.
At last.
I know. T.
Nice to see
How
you.
you doing? You right?
Come and have a look.
After you.
See, check it out.
Brilliant.
How cool is that? Huh? Love it. This is why I haven't come here, because I know it's going to cost me.
Well, let's hope it does.
Yeah. The shop is everything I expected. It's small, looks amazing, and everything in it is desirable. I love it. I love this guy.
Yeah.
That's fab.
He's French from the reign of Napoleon III.
So you're buying mainly in France then?
South of France.
Oh, in the sun.
Food is good and the weather's good.
Oh, God, I love it. I find it too expensive down there for me.
Do you?
Yeah.
Right. It's the 8 bottles of wine that's making it expensive for you.
The 15 bottles of wine. Yeah, not a day, not a day.
But he's here for the weird and the wonderful, and there's no shortage of that.
That's unusual, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's I bought from an Italian dealer.
I like the boobies.
Yeah, I know.
This is
It's for a lady with wide hips, you know.
Yeah. It's not Welsh, obviously, so it's not going to go wide enough.
Why?
That's you in deep trouble.
That's a dig at the Welsh women, isn't it?
Drew's admiring the stock, but hasn't found anything he wants to make an offer on.
So there's more through here, is there?
Yeah, do come and have a look.
What I'm looking for is something that falls more in my way. It has to have my sort of signature on it. It has to be something I really have to have. Some of this is too decorative for me. I like a bit of grunge, to be honest. They're all right, aren't they? They're my type of thing. Oh, no.
Quite interesting.
How much are they?
They are 320 each. Is that expensive for you?
There's a certain margin I need. They're out of the price range. They're just too much money. There's nothing to be made on those for me. That's a funky thing, isn't it?
Just bought it in the south of France. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
God.
actually
That's what I don't
from
wanna
an old
hear.
French shop.
How much is that then?
1,600 to you.
Yeah. Look at that.
That's an amazing London mirror. Yeah,
Really good.
with thumbnail beveling.
This is called brilliant cutting.
Yeah, that's brilliant cut. This is the thumbnail,
That is really...
and it's very rare. 1,600.
God.
Wasted journey.
This is a revolving cabinet from a patisserie shop.
Brioche.
Yeah.
Go on then, what sort of money he?
1,600
1,600 again. That's your magic number, isn't it? Everything's 1,600.
That's right.
Malcolm's prices are what I would get retail. Everybody's market is different, and he knows his market. He knows what he can get for things. One thing you have to do in shops like this is keep looking.
That's the loo.
No.
But
I'm trying to
does have
I'm trying to
paintings
find
in
the
it.
bits that you've hidden. Right down in the far corner, I just saw an outline of something that looked like that. Tell me about this then.
That's from Barcelona. It's got quite a bit of lettering and labels stuck to it.
How much is that?
1,600.
No, 60.
The remnants of stickers and labels points to it perhaps coming from a train station. It could resell for around £1,000.
So what did you say, 450?
No, 600, I said. Well, we can talk, but it won't be 450. It might be somewhere in between.
What sort of 475?
No, more like 550.
Top salvage expert Drew Pritchard is visiting an antiques dealer in the heart of London,
1,600.
God.
where he's getting acquainted with the premium price tags.
Is that expensive for you?
No.
We can talk, but it won't be 450. It might be somewhere in between.
What sort of 475?
No, more like 550.
Can we get it out?
If you want to,
Yeah.
yeah, sure. It's already
They're all very naively made, aren't they? So that's fine. I like that.
it's nicely shaped.
Can it be 500 quid?
I guess so.
Finally able to see a good profit margin, Drew does the deal.
That will look fantastic in your kitchen. It's an art piece. Put photographs in it, you know, dot those around, little keepsakes. And that's where it'll end up. I'm fairly sure it'll go privately. Tell me about this then.
That's a stife bear.
Is it really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
And it has a... Listen.
And you oh. Oh.
Pardon me again, sorry.
It does sound like he's...
Yeah.
Leaving the bear and giving the room one last look, Drew spots another intriguing piece.
This little carving above the door.
Yeah, it's actually charming. Let me show it to you. They're two French peasants. Looking like they're very respectable.
This piece of provincial French folk art shows a couple in their Sunday best. Probably carved in the late 19th century, to a collector of this genre, it could be worth around £250.
It's just a sort of
A thing.
one-off piece. Fantastic carving, actually. It's 180 quid if you want it.
It's just really basic, very, very simple and charming. And I've learnt over the years that if I like something and it just catches my eye, buy it. And I think I can double my money.
Drew's only made 2 purchases, but they're sure to rack him up a fair profit, making the visit to London a success.
Today was fun. I went to a shop I've not been to before. I saw some interesting things, and I bought something I really like. So, yeah, good day.
I found it very interesting. You know, we're both very interested in the same sort of things, and maybe we'll be able to keep in closer contact.
Buy of the day was that sort of open rack. It is really interesting, and the best thing for me as well, it's more or less, and that's the mark I've bought the right thing. You done? Yeah.
Are we all finished? Drew, it's been
pleasure.
A pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so
And I'll
much.
be seeing you again,
I hope so.
sure.
I hope so. Thank you, Malcolm.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Thank
See you again.
See you
Bye.
again.
Cheers.
That rack. Cracking.
Yes, very nice. So they'll
Always
be coming
been happy.
up to North Wales, get cleaned and come back to London.
Yes. I think the stickers on it, he said it's Spanish.
So Spanish via London, via North Wales, via London.
Yeah. It's more well-travelled than you.
The well-travelled wall rack needs nothing more than a light clean down with a wire brush, whilst the carving goes straight to the website. In the endless hunt for more stock, Drew and T are doing a relatively local call today. They're driving just 60 miles up the road to Liverpool. A thriving port city in the 18th and 19th century, Liverpool's fortunes have risen and fallen over the years. It's familiar territory for Drew, who's been salvage hunting in this constantly changing metropolis many times. But today he's going somewhere he's never been before. A rather unusual factory in the heart of
An organ factory.
So we're not to make reference to any organ
If you
jokes.
mention his organ once, you're in the van. We are utterly professional today.
Okay.
All right? It's going to be a first,
Yeah.
but we're going to do it.
It's going to be a struggle as well.
It's going to be a struggle.
Henry Willis and Sons was founded by its namesake in 1845. He began as an organ player and went on to become the foremost organ builder of the Victorian era. Over the years, the business has been run by 4 generations of the family. However, since 1997, the managing director has been David Wilde. The company has worked on over 1,000 organs, including some of the finest in the world.
The organs built by the company in the past, St George's Hall, Liverpool, St Paul's Cathedral, the list is quite extensive.
Henry Willis and Sons is one of only a handful of organ makers left in the country. They're based in a vast warehouse, which enables them to work on the huge pipes that can reach 10 metres in length. Each pipe is handmade, and with the larger organs requiring up to 10,000 of them, these monumental instruments can take up to 3 years to build, at a cost of around £2 million.
It's our 170th anniversary this year. Obviously, over 170 years, you accumulate a hell of a lot of stuff, bits of which you might be interested in. Hello.
How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Drew, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for having us here.
Empty. How are you?
Secret weapons, an ancient bit of machinery they still regularly use.
So what's this then?
This is the Vincent Willis reed tongue curving machine.
I thought it was.
You
I
were saying
knew
to me, I bet today we're going to see one of them.
My word, how old is this?
It's sometime before 1880.
What does it do?
There are 2 types of organ pipes. There are the ones that look like proper organ pipes that you blow and they sound, and then there are other types which have a brass reed in them. This tongue has to have a curve on it.
Vincent Willis invented this machine, and it's the only one in existence. Through a series of springs and cams, it shapes the brass reed to within several thousandths of an inch. Not bad for a bit of kit that's almost 150 years old.
We fixed the tongue and adjusted these wheels. It's a very black art. We turn the handle,
Oh,
and there we
Charlie.
have the tongue curve, and it's put on it the perfect curve that you need to do the job.
God, whoever invented that's a very clever fella.
He was a genius, close to madness.
I can sort of see what the machine's doing, but how you work out the length of the can to get the sound on the length of the I mean, who only knows? But I love it. What a great thing. Brilliant. Let's see more.
Okay.
Love to see more. What's through there?
Drew needs to find items he can buy, and there's a whole building to explore. The factory floor is full of machinery that's still in use.
So you know what I'm looking at, the racking. Now, there's an awful lot of open shelving, pigeonholes, banks of drawers, all sort of thing I usually buy, but condition-wise, these are not good. Oh, and that as well down there. I was hoping, this is when it comes to factories, this is what you want. These. Little work chairs.
This work chair was manufactured around the 1920s by Evertort, an industrial and commercial seating company still in existence today. Designed for heavy use in a workshop, it's made from durable steel and oak and is worth around £250.
How many have you got?
There's 1 in the metal shop. We used to have 2 in the metal shop, but now we only have 1 metal hand.
This is in pretty good condition. Original paint, original seat, original upholstery to the adjustable backrest. Somewhere...
I can't sell the 1 in the metal shop because that's still in everyday use.
Fair enough. What about this one then? Would that be able to go? What do you want for it?
Probably, I don't know. They've been here probably since the 1930s.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't got the faintest clue.
Usually I get them for about 65 quid, but that one's a little bit nicer, so it'd be £75 for that. Just got a little bit more going on.
Drew Pritchard is at an organ maker's in Liverpool.
When it comes to factories, this is what you want.
He's found an industrial chair he wants to buy, but will David be happy to let it go?
Usually I get them for about 65 quid, but that one's a little
Okay, I can't remember when it was last used.
deal.
Okay.
Thank you very much. They'll go to a very good home. This will go into a home office. It's got that sort of look. It's small, lots and lots of people are working from home. Everybody likes the industrial look, and it'll go anywhere.
First purchase done, and there are plenty more places to check out.
The boardroom.
It was.
Oh, really? What? You don't use it now?
It's going to be my office, actually.
There's some okay-looking chairs, but there's also a table which really shouldn't be here. It doesn't fit in at all, age-wise or stylistically.
This is all just put in here temporarily.
This is all to go, including the table.
Yeah.
The table is extremely well made, 1970s, so not everybody's cup of tea, but the top has been made really quite beautifully. The
Currently used in the boardroom, this classic 1970s dining table has an African hardwood veneer. After years of being out of fashion, this furniture is making a comeback and increasing in price. A fine quality example like this could be worth around £700.
I'm just sort of getting more interested in stuff like this now. Stylistically, it's quite nice. The only problem is it's not worth a lot. I'm just being honest with you, they're not worth a great deal of money because they're still quite a common item, but it's got a really good top. I do like the top. The top's very interesting. So I've got a bit of work to do. I need to make a few quid on it. Will 300 quid buy it?
350?
Yeah. So I'll go.
Okay.
Okay. So you can get yourself a decent desk now, can't you? A comfortable one. Why not? I'm buying stuff from the 80s now. American stuff from the 80s. It's amazing. So what have we got here?
Oops, just the filing room, part of the archive.
Okay. Those. Can these go?
Yes.
Yeah. That one's had it.
Is that what they wear? Is it just old waste paper?
Yeah. They're just very nicely made.
These waste paper baskets may date back to the 1900s and are hand-woven from willow. Desirable as small quality period pieces, they could fetch around £50 each.
Can these go?
Yeah.
£25 a pair?
Yep.
Done. Sold. Thank you. Marvellous. Right, we'll leave those there.
A few solid purchases, and there's one more room to explore.
I'm assuming this is the junk room.
This is the junk room.
I like it.
Thought you might.
Oh, hello, what's this? What's that doing here? What is in here is a very funky Fender Stratocaster advertising clock. Very cool, never seen one before.
This building was formerly occupied by a company that had a chain of music shops in Liverpool from the 1920s, and they were the Fender main agents. And that hung in the shop.
This 1960s clock was never mass-produced, being made specifically for Fender guitar distributors. It's therefore a rare item, and to a collector it could...
But it's got Fender on it, so who plays a Fender that's very well known? Mark Knopfler, Eric Clapton, it goes on and on and on. And advertising stuff sells well, as do clocks, as do anything to do with guitars. It's a triple whammy. Cool though, isn't it?
Very.
What would you want for it?
We have periodically looked to see what they fetch.
Yeah.
And they tend to be auctioned. And they go from anything from about $350 up to about £500,
Okay.
depending on condition.
Will £200 buy it?
$250.
I'm not sure I can get 500 quid for it. I think I can get 350 quid for it.
Mm-hmm.
Being honest with you, I think that's what I don't want to argue too much over 25 quid, but I think the profit's pretty tight on that one.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have a deal. Okay. Wonderful, thank you. That is definitely going to go to a guitar collector or player or rock guy or girl. That's where it's going to end up, clearly. That's odd find.
Yeah. An organ factory and buy a guitar-related thing.
Clock. Okay.
With all the deals done, they're going to take a look at the company's latest innovation, developed by one of the directors, Jonathan Bowden.
Okay, so what's all this about then?
Well, this is just a little pipe organ. Jonathan's rigged it all up so that it can actually be demonstrated playing itself through the MIDI interface. on it.
There are MIDI files on the iPhone which goes into the organ console. The console then communicates with the pipes by pipe sound.
Drew would have understood it more if he'd gone, it's magic. He'd have gone, oh, yeah, fine, yeah.
So is this something you guys have designed?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, go on then. Let's have the full Monty, please. Impressive. One thing we're very privileged to see is an organ being played through Wi-Fi. An amazing sort of invention. How it works, I've no idea. Can you do it so it's like wallop? Wallop. That's it.
Just changing the different pipes that you're using.
So this will mean that anybody can then buy this equipment from you guys, take it to their organ, and make it play this.
That's right, yeah.
Genius. Thank you very much. Great trip to Liverpool. It's only down the road from us. Always turns up good stock, and got a few items, very saleable, and not lots of work. Which, when you sort of have to deal with the sheer volume of stuff that we have in stock at any one time, is a huge bonus. Standout item today was the table. It's just something that I can sell easily, but not a lot of money. So somebody's going to get a really nice dining table, kitchen table, or desk. It's going to look really cool. David, thank you. A pleasure.
A great pleasure. Thank you. Today, really
Nice to meet
interesting.
you.
Yeah, it was great.
Having bought someone new...
Nice top. Nice top.
Nice top.
African hardwood, hook matched veneer.
Got loads of bums here.
Yeah, it does look like big buns, doesn't it?
Antelope bum, you said.
Antelope bun.
How much is it?
$3.50. It's got some scratches.
Look at that scratch full stuff.
Have you got some?
That's wow, isn't
Get it in. Get it on. Let's have it on the website in the next hour.
There's a few scratches on it. I'm just going to go over it with a light rubber just to fill the scratches and give it all a polish.
The table is now ready to go up on the website. The factory chair, however, turns out to need a bit of work.
As you turn yourself around on the seat, it's going to need welding up here. It's broken away.
Carl welds the base together, and the mechanism is back in working order. The 100-year-old waste paper baskets are snapped up by a lady to decorate her chalet in the Swiss Alps. While the fender clock has a problem with its second hand and goes off to a specialist repairers to see if they can make it tick again. From Relic Antiques in London, the carving has been sold to a private collector in Glasgow. And after the visit to Watermouth Castle, Drew has been doing research to see if he should up his £400 bid on the automaton.
The little baker boy, which I fell in love with, I stick with my original offer. And if he wants to take it, that's fine. Otherwise, I will have to walk away.
The wax heads proved to be good sellers, with one of them being bought by Alistair Thompson, who works at a visual effects company in London.
The company I work with models and sculpts all these amazing things in computer graphics, but this is how it used to be done. It's the old school way. Someone actually modelled that, cast it, did it the old-fashioned way.
The wax head also struck a particular chord with Alistair.
You ready? Yeah. Get a bit closer.
And his daughters, Grace and Pearl.
It looks a little bit like my youngest daughter. It sort of looks angelic, but there's a lot of mischief behind that. What about Pearl? Look at Pearl.
Oh, that's sweet. I like her.